All right, what's up, folks? Welcome to Foreign and Domestic. It is good to be here. Good to see everyone out in the side chat already. It is blowing up pretty good, pretty fast. And we are going to go to Mr. Hot Pot. Yes, sir. If you would get us started off right.
Hey, how y'all doing tonight? Good to be here. Scotsman, Alan, Daniel, Chris, Jay. Good to be here tonight. What am I starting off with?
Pledge.
The Pledge of Allegiance.
The Pledge of Allegiance. The Pledge of Allegiance. Well, gotta take that thing off there. Ready, go. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with justice and liberty for all.
A little backwards, but that's okay.
Got it all in there.
I got it. You surprised me.
No pressure. I don't know what that feels like.
It happens. It's okay. It's all good. All right, Alan, get us going, brother.
Oh, it's going. It's going. I've had a relatively good weekend. Didn't get out to the range, but had a relatively good weekend nevertheless. So far, Alaskan 1 Andy out there. Andy 79Z28. YouTube came down on him too. Bradley, good to see you. Edward Petty, Lead Bullet Junkie, New Texarkana, New York Outcast, along with that YouTube auditor. You can suck it along with Carhartt. MCK, good to see you jumping in. Chris 338. Tacos and French fries. Man, that sounds pretty good right now. Uncle John, Hobbies Hobo, Garage Guy 879. Good to see people starting to chime in this evening.
Absolutely. So we got someone new with us tonight. I think you guys see him out in the side chat. But Chris, how you doing, man? What's going on with you?
Doing good, man. Thanks for having me on. It's been a good weekend. I got to the range Friday, Saturday, put a new trigger in one of my new guns I just picked up, and today I just did a bunch of video editing. It's been a good weekend.
Awesome. Good deal. Good to have you on, man.
Thank you.
Daniel, how you doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing okay. Just having some fun at all the white powder out there. Taking care of stuff here and getting in creative mood.
I see that. You're back on the editing kick.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? When you suck at shooting, you got to make it entertaining. And I've got back into the editing and stuff because of Midas. I always wanted to be as good as him because I always admired how good his editing was.
You did an awesome job, that's for sure. Absolutely awesome job. Jamie, how you doing, man?
Better than I deserve. I hope everybody had a good week and having a good weekend. And let's brace for another week of work coming up here. Unless you're like Daniel and retired. And glad to have Chris on here. Fresh meat, how sweet. Thanks for joining us, buddy. You'll love it.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to it.
We'll have a good time.
We tried to.
Give you some friendly advice. Don't be praising Glocks on this.
Yeah, I've picked that up in the side chat.
It could be your first and last invite.
Why, Chris, do you shoot Glocks?
I have a few, yeah.
What do you use in competition?
Well, I shoot PCC in competition. So I run a Ruger, PC9, PC carbine. Yeah. And then when I do shoot carry,
out of all the videos that are coming out about SHOT Show, one of the only things that I've found sort of interesting so far is a PCC coming out of a company called CAA. and it's not your standard 9mm, 10mm. They're going to end up with a 10mm supposedly by the end of the year. But it's a 9mm that takes Glock mags, but its furniture is completely different. Instead of a standard up and down pistol grip, the pistol grip is on the side of the lower receiver, and it puts you, and the forward the forward grip is up on the side of the barrel, and it puts you into a boxer stance. The trigger is less of a straight back pull; it's more of a up and down pull because of the stance, just the stance that you're in. Kind of a really interesting concept. It puts you; it's more of an ergonomic stance than what you would see with a standard PCC. Takes Glock mags again, like I said, is going to be coming out in 9mm here shortly, and they have plans for a 10mm before the end of the year. I'm curious.
Yeah, I have their MCK kit that you put your pistol inside of it. It comes with a fold, and then it's got the folding brace and everything on it. So I think the original one they did was the Roni, the Micro-Roni they called it, and then they came out with the MCK, which is the one I've got. Yeah, they're a pretty cool company. But I haven't seen what you're talking about yet. I'll have to look into that. That's pretty neat.
Smooth way on changing the subject when I was trying to figure out how I'm going to steal Chris's Glock so Scotsman and I could do a torture test on it.
Function test.
No, when I do if I do shoot a pistol on USPSA, I'll shoot carry optics, and then I'll either run a Canik TP9 SFX or I run a Walther PPQ M2.
Can't complain with that. So what else has everyone seen that shot? You know, some of the stuff out there. I usually don't pay a whole lot of attention to it because so many people post daily and it just drives me up the wall. But has anyone else seen anything kind of cool come out from shot?
I'll elaborate a little bit more maybe. But Big Al questions. What is it with the Suck It Carhartt thing? Carhartt has made their empire literally off the backs of the blue collar hard ass worker, and has, in my opinion, turned coat on those exact people, and have made it mandatory that all their employees be vaccinated. So in my opinion, Carhartt can suck it, and they're never going to get another penny from me.
That goes into eat a bowl of dick land right there.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's the deal with Carhartt, and I've been a huge fan of Carhartt for years and years, and use it to its fullest extent and more. But no, I'm not gonna aid a company that does that.
I only have one jacket from them, and that's it. They'll never get another penny.
So where am I going to get my jackets now? I grew up wearing Carhartts, the jackets and the coveralls, you know?
Yep.
So where's an American company where I can get a good work jacket?
Yeah, that's current. I'm currently being researching on that. So Hobbies Hobo, back to the SHOT Show thing. I forget who it is, but they've got what they're exactly doing is creating a 6.8 blackout that is right along the lines of an SPR line. And so you're looking at a 10-inch barrel on a 6.8 blackout basically like on a Remington 700 frame or format. They've got those, and they've got more of like an AR style format, but they're I think it might have been Daniel Defense. I could be wrong. But a 6.8 blackout. So you guys that run 300 blackouts, you're going to end up having the brass for it already. Just a really beefy looking round. And just fun. It looks pretty fucking badass.
Now, are we talking about, is there two different blackouts? Because the one that I was most interested in was the 8.6. That's the one that's got the 300 grain bullet. That's, they're shooting out of it.
There very well might be. The ones that I seen today were a 6.8 blackout.
So they're going to have an 8.6 also. And there was, I think it's Faxon. It's making the upper for it. And the twist rate on that is 1 in 3 on that barrel.
Yeah, it might be the same damn thing. Yeah, because it twists so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, they in the videos that came out on it, they put a light down the bore and the damn thing looks like it's threaded.
I know, it's crazy.
So I don't know if you saw that comment from Bald and Curious, but if you need another reason to hate Glock, there it is too. So Glock's also doing the same thing and mandating it regardless. So there's another reason to hate Glock. You're welcome.
Yeah,
I'm
it very well
fucking
might be 8.6, not 6.8.
Yeah, so Faxon is going to be making the uppers for the AR-10 platform, and then Guerrilla Ammunition is going to be making the first rounds for it. So, yeah, that's at the bolt action that they showed with like the 10-inch barrel on it, and then the 12.5-inch barrel, and I don't know. I'm pretty intrigued by that round. That's something I think I'm going to have to try out.
And even with those barrels, they're still talking some pretty damn good distance.
400
simply
yards
because of
they were
that
saying.
twist rate.
Do yourself a
They're
favor and
they're
get
able
you-
to keep a lot of the ballistics because of how fast they're turning that big giant nugget coming out of the barrel.
Yeah.
just get yourself a 270 Winchester and be done. That's what 6.8 is 0.277, same diameter as 270 Winchester. Okay. 270 Winchester, 30-06 Springfield. So yeah,
Yeah, didn't they say something about it still retained better ballistics than the 308?
Yeah, I got some info pulled up on it here. So that's a 338 caliber cartridge created with the same general concept as a 300 blackout. You can go all the way up to 300 grains. They also have a 210 grain Barnes bullet for it. Yeah, 1 in 3 twist rate. And then for their AR-10 options, they're going to have an 8-inch barrel, a 12-inch barrel, and a 16-inch barrel.
That's exactly kind of what I was thinking right there. It's, you know, we're
Mhm.
coming out with more cartridges, but are you going to be able to get the ammo?
Yeah.
And what's the price going to be if you can? Because that's not probably not going to be a cheap ROM.
I like to stick with
Well-
all the common rounds, the common ammos. I try not to step outside the box on things like that because, yeah, where are you going to get the ammo at?
Well, and that's going to end up that the projectile itself is going to end up in the 30 caliber family. So that might be doable, but it lends itself more to the guys that are willing to do brass work and reload, because the ammo's not going to be readily accessible. And I love having something unique and odd, but if the only way that I can fire the thing is I got to create all the loads for it, that's a slight hassle.
See, and that's the thing. Usually, with a new cartridge, you won't see any load data for usually the first year or longer, depending on what it is. You know, sometimes I've seen it 2 years before you've seen load data.
That's what we went through with the 350 Legend. We had a very basic little square of data with like 4 bullets and 3 powders, that kind of stuff. Just very basic information, but we could simulate. With what we found out that the 350 Legend is very similar to 357 Maximum, so we were using 357 Maximum at the lowest, their minimum charges, and then working up from there, and that was putting you well below the 10% reduction of the 350 Legend data that we saw. So we could assimilate different stuff from all that. It's scary when you're making up your own load data and you go out there and you squeeze that trigger the first time, you know?
You wouldn't have that problem if you just had Scotsman just over an hour north of you. Let him shoot it first.
You got to have a guinea pig.
Yeah, unfortunately, Scotsman lives way too far away from me.
Well, you got college
that
guinea
plus
pig.
he'll do it. He'll do it without ear pro, so he'll be able to tell you if it's actually loud or not either.
Hey, you got to get the full effect, man. Got to get the full effect.
Nothing like a good shockwave. When I first started reloading, I loaded up my first couple dozen rounds, and I called a buddy of mine. And I said, "Hey, come on down here, man. Meet me in my shop." He came in. I gave him the bullets. I said, "Hey, go to the range and fire those for me." He's like, "What?" I said, "Just go tell me how they shoot, man." He was like, "Okay." He came back with all of his digits. So
Do I hear crickets?
Kind of, they were talking about CW Longshot's channel, and Kingpin put a link out there. Matt, RTT Guns and Gear, was asking about who is CW Longshot. CW focused mainly on bullet casting, powder coating, reloading and shooting, and all that kind of stuff. But he got in trouble for showing casting bullets. I mean, he didn't even load the ammo. He was just casting the bullets and then powder coating them with different colors and that kind of thing. And they eventually, they gave him 2 strikes. First warning was 2 strikes, and then a week later, 2 weeks later, they found another video they didn't like and just deleted his channel. And when he appealed it, from what I understand, CW, if you're listening out there, correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I understood from the text that he sent me, was he appealed it. And when he appealed it, they replied back, "There's no channel of that name." Well, of course there's not. You just deleted it.
Oh. So when are we going to have a new platform? I mean, I heard something about in the first quarter, Trump's new platform was supposed to be out. I mean,
Well,
someplace we can go.
we're all moving to Rumble right now, and it may be a short, temporary kind of thing, but
Yeah, over the years that I've been on YouTube, we've had a lot of different alternatives pop up. And to date, none of them have held out for a super long amount of time. Either they go the way of the liberals, or they end up just shutting down completely, or they get bought out and become a subsidiary of Alphabet. Yeah, it's so far we haven't. There's right now the hot thing is Rumble. Um, it's really difficult for me to put any weight in any of them, because we've had so many of them over the years.
there have been. But right now, I'm putting my stuff on Rumble and linking it to the Reloaders Network, and then about 4 to 5 days later, I'll post it on YouTube. I'll turn it live on YouTube. But until further notice, my stuff will be on Rumble first. Be on Rumble and Reloaders Network. Then you can. It'll be on YouTube later, and that, depending on what the video is, it may or may not be the full version that gets put on YouTube. Probably will, because at this point it's like, yeah, YouTube kicking me off. I mean, it's their history lately is kind of like them doing you a favor kind of thing, but they're just moving further and further and further to the left. And we got Pony 47 out there. Hey, buddy, B Borg showed up.
Yeah, Kingpin just saying there is plenty of options out there, and either use them or conform to YouTube. And I agree with that for a certain extent. Either you're going to conform and try and beg and hope that they don't take everything that you have down, or you're going to spread your content around as much as humanly possible. That way, when stuff does go down somewhere, you've got it somewhere else. Are you gonna get the viewership anywhere else that you get on YouTube? No.
No.
That there's no hesitation in that. Nobody can say, "Oh yeah, I get more views on such and so network than I do on YouTube," without lying through their fucking teeth.
See, that's why I was worried about the Trump platform, because there you're looking at least half the market of the United States will go over to his platform. Because if you look at the numbers went and everything, half of America was for him, and the other half was brain dead.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what up, Gray Note? Talking about alternatives with YouTube at the moment. Well, yeah. Well, if you do the work, you'll get the views. Yeah, but how are you going to get the word out there? The number one platform is and has been YouTube. How else do you get the information out there in order to get the viewership that you would get um, from a YouTube channel? Um, yeah, because if we had those kinds of things, those kinds of platforms that the mass search engines would be able to direct to, yeah, okay, I can see that there's a possibility that you'd actually get more viewerships on XYZ channel or wherever else that you put your shit. But you're going to be pretty damn hard pressed in order to make that happen. People when they're going to view videos, they're not going to some XYZ platform. I mean, everything from baking cookies to working on your 74 Dodge pickup, you're going to find it on YouTube, and everybody knows that that's where you go.
You're absolutely correct, sir. I'm not going to sit here and argue that point. And if you need information about your working on your 74 Dodge pickup truck, I would suggest you go find it on YouTube. But as far as a community of gun guys, we are going to be deleted and kicked off of YouTube eventually, and it kind of ain't real fun. But at the same time, there's like Kingpin saying, there's lots of alternate places we can always put a video out that's directing our viewers to those videos and those other sites, and put a link to it. Make it easy for your guys to follow you around. Put a link there, and all they gotta do is click that link to watch the full video, and maybe they'll find some other things that they like while they're there. And but YouTube is always going to be the big boy on the block. They're going to be the bully, and they're going to throw their weight around, and that's cool because they put the money out to do it, and they took the risks and they took the chances, just like the guy that owns every business out there. But yeah, we do have options. Odyssey is one, Rumble is one, GunTube, and several others. I really like to find a place where I can upload it and put it on not private but unlisted on YouTube, and it'll take it over there automatically. So you can have like 4 or 5 places where your videos are going and be posted to, and then all you gotta do is go over there and turn them on. So that works pretty good. And I was doing that with BitChute for a while, but they stopped it, and since then I hadn't put another video up on BitChute. But that's another one. But we just all gotta make up our mind where we're going if we're going together. But one of the things I like about Rumble is that they do have a option to live stream there. So I've got to get busy and get to where our live stream is going to both Rumble and YouTube. But the Rumble thing, the live streaming is not free. You're gonna have to pay a little bit of something. I think it's like $9, $5, $10 a month, something like that. I ain't sure, but we'll find all that out.
So I threw a link out there in the side chat just a minute ago. Eric dropped the video yesterday, I think it was. That's a link to Eric's video, but go over there, check that out. I believe the AR is complete, so the next giveaway for Justice Final Mission is up and running.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is complete, but in typical form, what ends up happening is if people end up sending in extra stuff too. And I tell you what, that 308 is looking phenomenal as it is. Absolutely one of a kind Hubert brake, fax and barrel bolt carrier. It is looking absolutely freaking awesome. But yeah, that is the next extension. A lot of people end up going, hey, I've got this other buttstock, do you want that? People throw more things in. There's other things already coming in for it. Along with it, there ends up like a package of crap that ends up going with it. He's got
It's pretty crazy. Heck, I think the 2016 package was, I think he ended up mailing out like 30 or 40 boxes of stuff. It was insane. There was a ton of stuff.
Yeah, y'all can watch the video at some point, but the it's coming with Ear Pro. He's got a cold steel knife that's half a sword. The thing is huge. There's all kinds of stuff that's going along with it. $10 a pop. That's and all going towards Justin's final mission through Warrior Battalion.
Man, that brake on that thing is unreal. Wow.
That's a one of a kind Hubert
Yes,
brake
it is.
with the breacher. And I mean, Scotsman, you've shot Hubert brakes. You want to talk about them damn things a little bit?
Oh yeah, I mean I've got them on 3 different rifles I put together just because I know how well they run. I mean they're insane. They're super flat shooting. You don't barely feel anything whatsoever. I mean Daniel's shot my 6.5 Creedmoor. He'll tell you it stays flat as I'll get out. He takes the time, machines them. It's a small business, but he does an awesome job. I've still been working with him on getting an AR trigger put together. That's been going for a while. Hopefully, he'll have something soon. There's a concept for an AR trigger, but it's still in the works.
Good to
Hey,
see you,
Hot Pot.
Kyle.
Hey, Hot Pot. Do you think we could get all these guys that just do this all at once, stand up and yell, "You shall not pass"?
Sure.
You know what reference I'm making, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Get them all different colored hats.
Rainbow people.
Which one would be Gandalf? I think Jamie, because he's a good guy. The evil one would be Scotsman.
Well, Jamie's probably the only good one that we ever have in here.
I don't know.
But we got
It's
to
like
have somebody keep us regulated.
Yeah, I don't know about Chris. I haven't go. I got to get over there and watch his channel.
He's pretty wild, man. You mean if you're going to watch his channel, put your seatbelt on.
Piss me off, make me happy. Just don't bore me.
Yes.
Yeah, Josh Benoit, Chris is he's from down in Texas, and he made a comment that he used Just for Men on his beard, and he feels all dark and handsome now. So,
Did Scotsman tell him to use that? Did he recommend that?
Hell no. Hell no. I'm okay with the gray in my beard. I'm perfectly okay with it.
Yeah, I think I got more gray in mine now than my regular color, so I'm just gonna live with it.
Oh yeah. Well,
me too, but I earned every one of them, buddy.
Fuzzy's asking out there if there's any updates and primers. In my area, it's still the same. Limit to 3 little boxes of 100 per type. But I heard they're up in Michigan. There's some place there where you're limited on buying a brick, but they're going for $47. So I might have to grab the wife and go up there.
It seems like we got 2 people that need to turn in their man cards: East Texas Outlaws and Josh Benware.
Oh, I'm okay with my little bit of white patch. I'm fine with it. Hot Shot likes it, so you know.
I'm kind of calico. Kind
I
of
know
like a
you can't-
stormtrooper.
I know you can't see it on the camera, but there's like 10 different colors in my beard.
Yeah, that's one thing I can say about the primers. At least I know now, even if we can only get up 3 trays or whatever per day, at least I like the fact that anytime I go to the gun store, I know they're there, and at least I can come home with some right now. That's the nice thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. Ramsey Country. He's up this way too.
Yeah, he's just been busy, man. We're eventually we're gonna get together at some point. He's not too far from both of us,
Yeah.
kind of in the middle.
He's not too far at all. So what do okay, I want to ask the side chat. What does the corners of this chat all have in common? Come on, chat. Side chat.
what do the corners of the
I
chat
know
all
the
have in
answer.
common?
I know the answer to this question.
RTT
Oh.
says
Yep, he's right now. Way to go there. Josh, facing.
well, Josh, it takes gay to no gay from what I've been told.
OHIO.
Glock shooters. Oh Lord.
Oh, they all hail from the state of Ohio, and nobody put that down there, even after Daniel spelt it out. Ball,
Redbird, you're not wrong. We do all got beards, but
I don't have a beard.
you got shit on your face.
That's Fu Manchu.
Yeah, that's not necessarily a beard. I mean,
yeah.
that's just extra mustache. He's just making up for Chris not having one.
And when he had a regular mustache, but as he's growing older, it's drooping.
Well, actually, this is not a mustache. This is all nasal hair. This is how long it grew now. I'm going for a Guinness World Book of Records. The longest nose hair.
That's why the tips are a different color from everything else.
Yeah, I think there's no green here, you know. This is more green up here. Is it kind of, you know.
I'm not going to say what I'm thinking.
I'm going to keep my mouth shut too. I have something. I'll keep it shut.
Well, I'm not like Scotsman, who's got 10 different colors, and every time he eats, he can taste the rainbow.
You just stick to one dye, Scotsman, just one brand. You won't have that.
I'm dyeing my beard, dude. It ain't going to happen. I let that bitch just free flow. Whatever it is, it is.
Yeah,
I'm not
I'm
going to ruin my beard by putting crap in it that shouldn't be in it.
Oh, speaking of which, I met this dude yesterday. Really cool dude. I was at the Great American Motorcycle Show in Marietta, Georgia, if y'all know where that is, at Cobb Galleria Center. And dang, I can't remember the name of his business, but he makes beard products and soap. And he has a lot of accessories like brushes and combs and stuff like that. So uh, I'm gonna have to go get that soap I bought and tell y'all the name of it. I might look him up and put a link in there. You guys would like his stuff. It's high quality stuff. And Kyle, make sure you get that link. I know you make your own, but Kyle's the only guy I know that makes his own beard products, you know. And
There's what, olive oil and 1040? He uses a mixture of lanolin and
See, that's why I don't go growing a beard like you guys, because y'all end up going to Bed Bath and Beyond to get all these hair products and everything. I just bought my own buzzer. I just shaved my own hair off and a Bic. You know, every 6 months I get a new razor.
I'll go get that. I'll be back in just a few minutes.
If Jamie comes back with
40
a
weight
Bed
90,
Bath and
best beard
Give me a
Beyond,
oil.
drink, honey, please.
that'd be classic. Scotsman, get Hot Pot a drink. Do you hear him?
Yes.
I would
Honey, please.
RTT, I'd believe you that 80, 40, 90 would be the best beard oil, except that it doesn't retain color in your particular case. It just makes it pure white.
Yeah, Ramsey County said he found primers at his local Dunham's for $8.99 per 100.
That is not shabby. Not shabby at all.
Dunham's has primers.
Yeah, you know, I had a buddy of mine call me 6-7 weeks ago. He was at Dunham's, and they didn't have a limit on them. And I don't know. He said they had like 4 or 5 boxes of 1,000, but they were the number 41s.
Oh, those
So-
are good.
And he needed small pistol primers, and they didn't have them. And he called me asking me if he could use those, and I was like, "No, you won't be able to use those in your pistol." But I said, if you want to buy 1,000 of them and bring them over here, and I just swapped him out for pistol primers. But I never knew Dunham sold primers, and I went there the next day, and sure enough, they still had them.
I've loaded some 41s in a small pistol, and they fire just fine.
Did they?
Yeah. Especially out of the CZ and my staccato. And now that new T-Sauce I got, that thing eats small rifle primers.
And it's striker fired, isn't it?
Yeah, but any other striker fire I have is hit or miss.
Right.
But that T-Sauce is every time, just like the CZ and the staccato. So if you're using a hammer fired gun, man, load them up.
Yeah.
I am.
Well, he shoots a Canic in competition, so I didn't want to tell him to go loading them up and trying it, and then they don't work. So, and I can always use 41s in something, so I just traded it off with him.
I thought about brushing around and looking for maybe a little bit of a stronger striker spring.
Mm-hmm.
Give a little more oomph out there. Because if that T-Sauce is doing it, maybe that's just set up for, NATO rounds, being from Turkey.
Yeah.
Now the Canic's hit or miss because, it's been Americanized now.
Right.
Through the company.
You guys quit talking about light primer strikes. That's a sore subject with me right now.
Well, Daniel, there is medication for that.
I'm not talking about the little blue pill.
You put yourself in that position there, buddy.
Dude, I sent 2 guns to get trigger jobs on them and stuff, and the springs they put in them. No, every other click, click, bang, click, bang, click.
On the CZs?
Yeah, I sent two CZs to the custom shop, and the main hammer spring they put in them, it does not work. And I ended up putting the original hammer spring back in both the guns. Yeah. So not happy about that. I'm not making a video on it yet because I want to eliminate any other possibility first. I went and did the firing pin, cleaned it out, and just inspected everything to make sure it was all good. It was all good. And now it's just, okay, what's next? Just go through to eliminate any other possibility. But put the main hammer spring back in them. They run fine. Oh, New York Outcast. We're going to get together someday, New York Outcast. And there's guys in this room that can actually tell you the first hour that I'm out there on the range, I'm undefeatable. After that first hour, my butt starts dragging. Can I get an amen from a couple guys on the top row?
Oh, you mean your old man just you sink down? Yeah, he does fall over after about an hour.
Yeah. Oh, well, Jamie was out there. She shot with me too, so he's seen it. After I'm on my feet for an hour, I'm done.
Yeah, you don't want to do a USPSA match then, because that thing is wow. You got to move.
Yeah. I'll bring my walker. Scotsman can tell you, yes, I have a walker.
We'll get you one of those. We'll get you one of those doggy ones.
Oh, how about those little?
You got to use your hands.
No, get one of those little electric scooter things there, and drive that around the course.
Yep. That's going to be one of our next fundraisers, Scotsman. Is we're going to have to hop up a Jazzy scooter for Daniel to go competition shooting. Turn that thing into like 47 horsepower.
I picked up a stroller I got out in the garages for twins. We can just take the center section out and just hop him into that and push him around.
Just leave it in there. That way you and Scotsman can both get on one side each and just run me around there, and I'll just go like this. But I do have surgery coming up, so hopefully I'll have another 10 years of being mobile.
All right, there's the man himself. So since he's already here, and I was going to wait a little bit longer, but we'll actually just go ahead right now. Here's a video for y'all to go watch when the show's over. But if you can, there's a link in that to a GoFundMe, and that is for our brother Redneck Renegade. He's had some problems, and try to help him out a little bit. So you guys can jump over there and help whatever you can afford. It would be much appreciated. I do intend on doing something here pretty soon, and you know me, I always go big, so be looking for that.
Oh, hey, Red, it's no surgery that's life-threatening. It's just supposed to be something that decreases pain level, so I can go out there and build my muscles and stamina back up.
Don't go there, brother. He wants to pray for you. You covet those prayers.
Oh,
There's no unrisky surgery. Can I give you an example? Y'all probably.
Did you have a vasectomy that went wrong, Jamie?
No. My brother-in-law was having knee replacement surgery, and we were at Christmas dinner, and I offered to pray for him, and He said, it's just knee replacement surgery, man. It'll be fine. Well, he goes in the next day, and his idea was to get it done between Christmas and New Year's and start recuperating after the New Year and get back to work as quick as possible. So it didn't go well. He had to have an exploratory surgery on his intestines, and he what do you call it when they put you to sleep?
Anesthesiologist.
Anesthesiologist. The anesthesia um, had a bad effect and made a blockage in his intestines, and he had to have a piece of his intestine cut out. And I'm like, and so I did my turn going down there and staying with him, and I was there when they come to get him to take him to the surgery, and I said, "Can I pray for you now?" And he said, "Yes, please." So yeah, we always pray for our brothers. Just say,
Okay. Do not tempt the Lord. Okay. Gotcha.
Right. And with that being said, all you praying guys out there, keep Willie Bullet Man in your prayers.
That was my next thing I was gonna say.
He's still in the hospital, as far as I know. So yeah, we covered your prayers for Willie. But back to what somebody was saying about Kyle Lusk. He makes good beard products. I have them and I have used them and they work well. He makes a wax and an oil. And the oil smells real good. And the wax is pretty much for form to help you train the beard to go where you want it to go. But both of them, Kyle makes good stuff. So he did his research. He didn't just up and throw some Edge Red mineral oil and olive oil together and say, "Here, put this on your beard."
As long as
If
it's
it's
not
good enough for my
earwax.
brass, it's good enough for my beard.
Do what, Daniel?
So it's not earwax and belly button lint.
I don't think so.
Be
You don't
careful.
know
I mean, did he give you an ingredients list? Because if he didn't, I'd be wary of that too.
He might be sitting over there in the side chat laughing at you right now,
He's
Jamie.
probably laughing his ass off right now.
It's like he really put that on his beard.
He's got that right by his lips.
No, trust me, guys. I watched him put some on before I would. No, I love my brother Kyle.
He's a good man.
You could do worse.
Oh, there he is. There's Kyle.
2-to-1 ratio.
Which one, Kyle? Is it more earwax or more belly
Jamie,
button?
it's self-explanatory. You got 2 ears, 1 belly button.
What was I thinking? Obviously, I wasn't, right?
Yeah.
So,
Kyle, what feels better when you do this, the finger or the ear?
there you go, Senior Master Sergeant Bulldog. That's the formula right there.
So, Hot Pot, what gun are you going to be shooting this year in USPSA?
Well, I bought that CZ75 TSO. Yeah, I shot that the last time. I think we'll take my staccato this time and kind of judge between the two. CZ is phenomenal.
Tac-
Just
talking about-
phenomenal.
How's it?
Your Tac Sport Orange?
Yeah,
Oh
Wow.
yeah, I love Max got one of them, man. I love shooting that gun.
Oh, I put some lock palm swell grips on it. Man, that thing feels great in the hand now. But that trigger, that's almost negligent discharge land without a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
was
time
just
on it.
gonna ask you that. How's your trigger?
That trigger is a pound.
You think about squeezing the trigger, it already went off twice.
Yeah. And if you actually watch my video, I turned and took another shot at the target and didn't mean to, but I hit the target. So I didn't get a negligent out of it. They didn't call me on it.
Now, if you run that orange, are you going to be in limited or
Unlimited.
unlimited?
Yeah.
Oh, you'll run it open.
Yeah, I've got a side mount optic on it. I got a
Oh, okay. That's right. I
Cajun
forgot you
gun.
did that.
Yeah, it's got that Cajun Gunworks side mount
Yep.
with the brake or gas pedal or whatever you call that thing on their thumb rest.
I forgot you did that. I when I originally saw it, it was just the iron sights, and then I forgot you did do the side mount.
Yeah, and that new ADE optic is phenomenal. That window.
So
It's huge.
after you did that review, I was going to order one to put on a gun, but then I noticed that they said that they were talking about the length of that optic too.
Yeah,
That it would have to sit on a plate that's, slightly above the slide in order to make it work.
yeah. Your plate's going to have to be even with your slide,
Yeah.
like on your Canic.
Right.
So you can run something like that, and that's a huge optic.
It looks
Very-
good. I really like it on that gun. It looks nice.
Man, for the price of it, I've got
Yeah.
more expensive optics, but I keep going back to ADE for some reason. Just my experience with them has been 100% reliable.
There's nothing wrong with that. If it works, it works.
I did buy like an ADE, like EOTech style, for a 300 blackout rifle, and it was a rechargeable one. And I went to turn it on one day and it didn't come on. I called ADE. A guy picked up the phone. I talked to him, told him what was going on. He said, "I'm packing one up right now. I'm sending it to you. What's your address? I'll send a prepaid return envelope with it." Man, within like 3 days, it was at my door.
Huh?
Boom. And so I sent the other one back, and I have not had a problem with that one since. I mean, that was fantastic.
I bought one of those because my wife made me do it. And I tell you what, accurate. The trigger is scary light. And when I have buddies shoot it, I got to give them a full brief and have them dry fire it before they even shoot it.
Yeah. When I was up there and shot yours, I was thoroughly impressed with it.
You didn't shoot? I didn't have the TSO then.
No, you had the blue.
Yeah, the S2.
Yeah. So
That's
that
another
was
good
nice.
one there.
Right now, I got it from a buddy of mine. I borrowed for review a Canic 55, which is a CZ75 compact clone,
Mhm.
and that thing is sweet. I mean, it's nice. Great trigger on it. Nice balance and weight.
Big Al, we're talking about the CZ Tac Sport Orange. He was wanting to know what CZ we're talking about.
Yeah. He probably just heard insane trigger and stuff. And pretty soon we're going to see old Big Al sporting a brand new TSO.
I got a really good deal on mine too. I got it for a lot less than I could find it anywhere else.
The rumor that I've heard through the grapevine is CZ is currently putting a halt on production of 97 DB and 97 Bs. Why they would be doing that? It's such a phenomenal selling particular pistol. It's one of a staple in the line. Why particularly they would be doing that is another question. CZ kind of does this, it seems, where they'll shut down production of something and then come back out with it a little bit later with some tweaks. So I don't know if they're going the re-engineering route or if they've got something that's going to fill its slot.
I was gonna say it'll be either they're tweaking it or they're gonna switch it off for something else. That's usually what they'll do. They'll shut it down and they'll tweak it and come back out. It'll be interesting though to see what they do.
So yeah, Big Al, I have the Shadow 2. What does the TSO have over the Shadow? Daniel.
Well, okay, the Shadow is a single action, double action. The TSO is a single action only. But the TSO is more fitted, smoother. Trigger is insane. And yeah, it's more. Okay. The Shadow 2 is fantastic. It's great, but the TSO is more. It's just a single action, though. It is a more put together race gun.
Well, I thought my 75 shot well till I shot Scotsman's Shadow 2, and it was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like the Shadow 2 and then the TSO. And then you've got the Checkmate on top of that. So the only one that tops on the CZ line is the Checkmate, which is the full-on race model, built-in comp into the barrel, side mount optics. It's the race gun. That's CZ's pride and joy. So that TSO is it's just phenomenal.
And the Checkmate comes with different barrels too when you buy it, doesn't it? You can run 9 major
And 38 super.
and 38 super. Okay.
Yeah, the Checkmate's like, what's that, Chris? $5,000 for the Checkmate?
Yeah, probably
take.
now. I would say now. I think it.
It used to run around 3,500. I thought
Yeah.
about 35 or so.
Yeah.
The last-
When we're in that, I went in to buy a Checkmate because they had one where I go. And I was walking into the store. Here comes this little girl out with it. And I look at it and it's like, I was on my way to buy it. She goes, well, I just bought this for my fiance. And I looked at her and say, you're one hell of a woman. He's a lucky man. He don't deserve you.
That's a keeper
Well,
right there.
Yeah, when I was looking at them, I went to one over by us, Blackwing, and they had one. It was 4,800. So I mean, you're figuring $5,000 out the door.
Yeah.
Daniel, I would have just told her, hey, you could have bought me a ring. This is better. Yes, I'll marry you.
It does have a hole you can put your finger through, so it's a ring.
No, especially if your wife is with you and she is packing a gun herself.
I was gonna say you gotta be careful. You'll end up behind the berm. There'll be a part of it.
So yeah, you're going to be better off. Technically, you're going to be better off in a match with TSO versus a Shadow 2 because you're just going to be coming out of your holster with safety on. Versus with the Shadow, you're going to have to pull through your first trigger pull is going to be your double action, correct?
Yeah.
Well,
I just went ahead and went the whole route. If I'm going to do it, I just stepped off the cliff. That's how I roll.
I get it.
Yeah. Well, I got the safety on my Shadow 2, so I think the Shadow 2 you can either put the decocker or the safety on it. So I just went ahead and put the safety on my Shadow 2.
Okay.
That's probably a wise decision because that trigger is, you breathe on it hard, it's going off.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Well, and the TSO is half the trigger that the Shadow 2's got.
You
The Shadow
think
2 is
trigger.
phenomenal. I absolutely love my Shadow 2. But you want to talk about cream in my pants when I shot Daniel's TSO.
Yeah, they're
That
nice.
was a wet dream while standing in front of targets.
If you ever
And-
think about shooting competitions, though, I did a video comparison between a cheap rig and an expensive rig on what do you want to spend, and economically speaking, you can get a really, really nice rig, complete rig for 80, 90 bucks, or you can spend 400 on a rig setup, so if you're thinking about shooting, definitely look at the differences in all the rigs and stuff.
And the TSO trigger is adjustable out of the box, right?
Yes. It's got an over travel adjustment.
But
Does it
not
have
over.
over and under?
Man,
Or is it just over travel?
I don't know, Daniel. I haven't had
I
it that
have-
long. I haven't played with nothing on it.
I have not touched, adjusted, nothing on that gun. Right now, I'm just getting used to it. And I shoot my carry gun more than my Shadow 2 or the TSO. So I'll go out there and shoot some competitions. Okay, I want to shoot the TSO more, and I'm going to shoot my Shadow 2 more, just to see which one I'm more comfortable with to start out, the spring and summer, going out and doing stuff with. I bought it because the wife said I could, and I did. So when my buddies come over, I can look like the gun range hero and say, "Here, shoot this." I just shoot for the enjoyment of it, really. I like having people around and just having good times.
That's what it's all about.
And his cooking's not bad either.
His what?
Said your cooking's not bad either.
Hey, Grandma taught me how to cook.
Good cookies.
So I think I've talked about this a little bit, but there's a friend of mine that is inviting me to go to some, what is it? IDPA
Yeah.
matches with him, and I went once to practice with him. So when it warms up a little bit, I'll probably get out there and practice a little more, and then just take off down there with him. That's in what's the name of that little town? Down on the other side of Cedartown. Yeah,
Gene shoots a lot. You shoot a lot of IDPA, don't you, Gene?
Yes, I do.
I've only ever shot it one time. I had fun. It was a fun match.
I like it because you're using a carry gun, and
Mhm.
it kind of just gives you these little different fun scenarios.
Yeah.
What if, or what ifs. I like playing like that.
Yeah.
But
I like that once. Yeah, go ahead.
USPSA, man, that's a lot of fun too, because it's like IDPA, but IDPA has this many rules, and USPSA has this many rules.
Yeah.
Hey, where else can you go in one of the stages? You're sitting at this table, and you're supposed when you start up, you got to knock the table over. So you knock the table over, take out the first two targets with the table, and they still give you a procedural for not shooting those two that you already took out with the table. Yeah, I had that.
The club that Gene and I belong to, they come up with some pretty crazy stuff for their IDPA matches. Didn't we have one where you started like in a little boat, you were in a boat and you had to jump out of the boat?
Yeah. You were out fishing, you had a fishing rod in your hand.
Yeah.
Was there a stick of dynamite involved?
We had another one there that had like a yellow painted like taxi cab car, like the side of a car. And you had to get down and shoot underneath of it and around it. And
Okay.
you get some interesting stuff going on down here.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, the range master, man, he always tries to change it up and keep it fun and interesting. Low round count, good fun.
So, Big Al, that I was interested in thinking about coming to Oklahoma to shoot out the 1,700 yards until I got to the all prone shooting part.
Why is that, Jamie?
I've never shot prone. I've only shot prone once, and was not a good experience.
Okay, for those out in the side chat that don't know what prone is, what is prone?
Laying on your belly.
Okay. So, all right, first of all, that would be good for me because that's my natural state of rest.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, Jamie, there's actually technique in shooting prone.
Oh,
With the way your legs are, with the way your feet are, how you have your elbows. I mean, it's like it's a technique issue. So anybody can shoot prone comfortably as long as they have good technique. I watched some guys at events get down and just flop on their bellies. Their legs are all cocked around and they're missing the targets. And they don't understand why, and they're cussing. And there goes the rounds. And it's like you're not using your technique, man. A good sniper has to be in that position.
Yeah. I shoot mostly on bench. So when we go up to dead zero, there's a bench there. I'm pretty good at bench rest shooting. And if I did the study up and got used to it, I could do prone too. It's just not what I've typically done all my life. I grew up a deer hunter, man. I just,
never know until you do it.
Right.
You might be your gig.
Might be, man.
You may look back at bench and go, what was I thinking? I wasn't hitting anything on that. Man, look at my half MOAs at 1,000 yards on prone.
Yeah, I go to try to shoot prone. If I'm laying down like this and I'm going to go to shoot prone, I'm going to need some type of padding underneath my chest to compensate for the belly.
Yeah, because he'd be going
so that I'm level instead of looking down. It just, you rock back and forth on the gut.
You'll see
and then he's going to have this movement too.
Right. You can increase or decrease your elevation by, sinking the hips down or.
Well, you need something to prop you up too, so your beard's not touching the ground. You don't want your beard getting all dirty too.
I just need somebody there to help me get it back up off the ground.
That's me, man. I think that was my problem the one time I tried it. Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. So when you're already on your belly and you got that shake going,
I don't get up as fast as I used to.
You can always roll until you can get your knees contacting and actually flip yourself up.
I've got to roll over, then get one elbow up, and then get the knees up, then just try. It's that part there, just standing up the rest of the way is my issue.
Mm-hmm.
What's really nice in like all shooting sports, it's there's so much camaraderie that if there is somebody that is handicapped or disabled or not quite able to move well because of any issue, we as fellow competitors, we help. So if you had to go down into a prone position, as long as your firearm is secured, we're going to help you get on to the next part of the stage or help you get back. That's just the way we are.
That could be an interesting video. I could have Chris and Hunt both on each side of me, not pushing the stroller, but hey, we could do multiple shots. One where you're pushing the stroller.
Daniel, we'll just put you onto a skateboard, and we'll just push you around. You'll still be prone.
No skateboard.
That's it. That's what I need to shoot prone is a creeper, Gene.
Yes.
a car mechanic creeper.
And
Yeah,
we'll put some of those big fat tires on it so it goes through the grass and the gravel.
yeah, man.
You need to automate it too. Put a little motor on it.
Yeah, we'll put take my Harley motor and put it on.
There you go.
I can't do that. I love my Harley too much.
Just need to get you another one.
If
Just
I
a
buy
motor.
another bike, it's probably going to be an Indian. Not
My
sure.
roommate, when I was out in San Diego, she had her dad's old Indian. I mean, this thing was pre World War II, and it was all there.
Oh man, those are beautiful, but I wouldn't take off to California on one of them.
I sat down on it, and you got the brake and the clutch, and I go like this, and the one or the other, it just went snap. It's like I'm getting off it now. It was either the clutch or the brake thing. Just that little lever just snapped right in my hand. It's like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, there went $400. What are you riding these days, Gene?
I got a 2016 Road Glide Ultra,
I
big
got
touring bike.
I got a 12 Heritage Softail Classic, 103 6-speed transmission.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the 103 high output. Mine's liquid cooled.
Mine's air cooled.
Mine's great in the summertime sitting in traffic.
Mine ain't.
You hear those cooling fans kick on and that rear cylinder shut down, and you're just like, oh, okay. I must be on a Honda. Oh, no, it says Harley.
No, man, mine just stops making any noise.
Yeah, I've had plenty of those. I had an old panhead like that. That thing was a nightmare.
You guys that ride Harleys,
Yeah, this is a picture direct from Bald's Pornhub account.
Ah,
what I want to know is how did Bald's face get on Josh Benoit's body?
Yeah. Because you ain't going to find that many skinny girls in New York. You'll find them down south where the heat keeps all the fat baked off. I mean, hey, it's that one law. The farther north you go, the bigger the bodies get. Have you ever seen a skinny Eskimo?
I do not know who this man is right now. But anyway, you guys that ride Harleys, and if anybody ever asks you to ride in their parade, you politely decline. Take my advice.
oh, no, I'm good. I'll take mine.
You go, and I'll be waiting for you.
Well, the heads on mine, the cooling system was designed by BMW. They both came out with liquid cooled heads the same year. BMW and Harley did. Just like the braking system is now all Brembo. And it's ABS linked brake system. I mean, the thing stops on a dime.
All that stuff's great, Gene, but who's working the clutch for you, buddy?
Who touches the clutch on a bike?
Dang, man.
What? You
Find it. We'll make them out of rubber next year.
I only touch the clutch to start and stop. After that, I never touch a clutch.
That's my point about parades. There's a lot of starting and stopping and going slow and all that kind of stuff. That's my whole point, man. Is that there you go, Mark. Like Mark's got a Harley and a Honda. I rode a Honda for a lot of years.
I raced a Honda. My last race bike was a Honda. It was CBR 1000 RR. Thing had 180 real horsepower and weighed 400 pounds wet.
Do you remember the back in the late '80s, the KZ 1000s?
Mm-hmm.
I saw one of those at the motorcycle show yesterday, completely restored, mint.
Oh, beautiful.
It was, and I'm thinking, man,
And you want to talk about a rocket ship? Wow.
last
That
time I
thing-
rode one of those, my feet weren't on the pegs, man. I was dangling in the air. Those things,
So,
whoa.
so did any of those bikes have a gun rack?
My Harley actually has a holster on the side of it, on the right side on my panel cover. I've got a holster there, and I've got a gun dedicated for my bike gun. And I do practice drawing it and shooting it while I'm riding. I get out in the country and nobody's around. I see a safe place, see a ditch to throw around into. I'll pull it out and pop one off.
Those ditches that say STOP.
Yes. Yes.
Those are the most fun ones.
Yes. Somewhat reflective at times, but easier to see this way.
Alan, you want to go through the side chat? We still got a pretty good crew out there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It had a couple of royalties jump in out there just recently. Not from the get-go here though. Armament and Axis, Bald and Curious, Big Al, good old Chico Wise out there, Edward Petty, Fuzzfork 8, Ghost Tactical, HRM Weapons Machinist, Keith Gregory, Kyle, Lead Bullet Junkie, Mark Thomas, Mike Hester, New York Outcast, Walter Davis. Yeah, it's going great out there. Glad everybody's out there with us. It's rolling pretty good on that side chat too.
And Chico's out there. Hey, brother.
You see Chico's little quickie that he did with he's singing Prince,
Yeah.
and then these guys were actually knew that was Prince. Some guys you wouldn't think would know who Prince was, and they actually knew who it was. They were picking on poor Chico for that, and it's like, hey, dude, you knew it was Prince, so you ain't got no room to talk. Okay, that went over like a fart in a church pew. Yeah, Chico knows what I'm talking about. Chico uses that rap when he's grocery shopping to pick up all those women while he's working his work shirt. That way, those girls all know he has a paycheck.
You gotta be careful, man. You gotta watch Chico. You hang around with Chico enough. He's out there working it everywhere he goes.
Yeah, but he'll pick up all your brass at the range, from what I understand.
He's lower to
What
the
I'm
ground.
Don't let Chico go in the store by himself. Okay? You out there waiting on him to come get back in the car. And then 20 minutes later, he's coming back and he's got 2 pieces of paper hanging out of his shirt pocket. And the dude done got 2 chicks' phone numbers while you're sitting out here in the car burning up gas and air conditioning, waiting on him to come on in. So you got to go into the store with Chico, or you'll be sitting there waiting for a while. Just
It's funny to watch him work, though. It's good. He's good.
it is fun. It really is fun.
All right, real quick around the round table. You got to bug out. You can grab 1 pistol and 1 rifle. What is it going to be? Jamie?
Smith & Wesson 686 357 Magnum, and a Rossi 92 in the same caliber.
Daniel.
My CZ and my 300 Blackout.
Chris.
I'm gonna grab my Walther PPQ and one of my AR-15s, just because I know that 223 is easy to get my hands on, so everybody's got it.
Hot pot.
I'm gonna grab my AR and probably my Canic.
Scotsman.
I got to take a Model 29. I ain't leaving one of those behind. And I'd probably have to take the Henry 3030 too.
Yeah, gonna be probably my 320, and more than likely a rifle that I recently picked up when I was out in Ohio.
That'd be a sweet one to have with you.
Chris, did you go?
Yeah, I went.
I just look
Yeah.
at it this way: you just gotta win the first fight, and you're gonna have more guns.
Yep.
Well, and see, I would take the C-Max rifle, but if I have to bug out, I don't want to get trashed. So I'd rather take something that go a little bit further out, and that one's special. That one's got a special spot. So.
Well, and that's the thing for me. The 320 is on the belt, and so I'm just grabbing the whole damn belt. As for the rifles, is my black rifle going to be a little bit more practical? Yeah, because I've got the flip to the side magnifier and everything else, but it doesn't have anything on the value to me level that other AR does.
Yeah, I was actually having that discussion with a couple friends the other day. We were talking about the bug out gun, and they were all like, the rifles they were going to grab were all kind of little on the exotic side of finding the ammo for them. And I'm like, look, I'm taking an AR. I can kick a window in a store and run in there and grab a box of 223 or 5.56. Well, and the AK wouldn't be a bad choice to take either, but I'm taking a 9mm and a 223 with me, because at least I know I can get in these stores and get what I need, because you can only carry so much ammo with you when you run out of the house.
And that's why I picked a rifle and a handgun in the same caliber. Same.
Yeah.
Fill a backpack up so full of that you can't pick it up and carry it.
You start packing a bunch of 30-round mags, they get heavy pretty quick.
Yeah. And the thing with carrying an AR, I mean, if you talk about pickups, all you got to do is take the uppers off all the other ARs that are laying on the ground,
Yep.
and you can have whatever, throw the upper in a backpack. And there you go.
Big
Or in
Al,
my case, Scotsman would carry it.
Big Al, I kind of agree with you, buddy. Once you're at home, you ain't got nowhere else to run to. You know what I mean? If
See,
you
if you're bugging out, you gotta have a plan. Like, I know Daniel was joking there, but I'm more than likely I'd probably head down towards Daniel so that I can help him and as well. And he can help me. We can work together.
Yeah. Because
Have a plan.
I guess if I got to leave the house here, I got a lot of friends and relatives within a mile out to 50 miles. So it's wherever.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Chris, looks like know where we're heading. We're heading to Daniels.
Yep.
Hey,
No, there's
as long
there's so many different scenarios for that. You can sit and talk for hours about different scenarios of what's going to happen when it happens. But
Yep.
the key is network.
yeah,
Have a lot of good friends and stuff. Network.
Yeah, we're not there's no shortage of that around me here, so.
Kingpin. I carry 11 Altor pistols with me everywhere I go.
Well, I think if the stuff got bad here, Chico and Carter need to come up this way, get away from that Atlanta mess.
Yeah, get out of there as fast as possible.
And I think him and Kyle could either come here or we could converge on Kyle's house. But Kyle's kind of in a neighborhood kind of thing.
I was gonna say, stay out of the cities as much as possible.
You got to have a good water source. And I'm not talking just well water. I mean, if you got natural springs, you're golden. That's most of the battle right there, making sure you got good water. Because if you ain't clean, the disease is going to take over.
Yep.
I just need to meet a good doctor. I mean, and a dentist, someone that can pull teeth and take care of any kind of medical stuff. I mean, you got to have somebody who can set an arm, set some bones.
Well, I'm certified. I'm certified in CPR, bloodborne pathogens, and I have a pair of vice grips.
Gene's
Hey.
our doctor.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
See, I used to be a CPR instructor and all that stuff, but I'm not pulling my own teeth. That stuff hurts.
I'll pull them for you. I don't care. I
Shot
have no
him
issue.
and yank away, dude.
I have no issue with doing it. I've been a piercer for over 35 years, 35, 40 years. So I've poked holes and ripped things and whatever.
Yeah.
Uh,
Giving shots is easy.
Bald and curious, I'm about 3.5 hours from Knoxville, Tennessee. You can get up in them mountains and be lost for now on. There's still scary stuff in those Appalachian mountains. They don't know what it is.
Jamie, we're scaring Chico. He's starting to think something happened. Because we're all talking about bugging out or bugging in.
Hey, Jamie, about every year I go down through ride Deals Gap. They call it the Dragon.
Yeah.
I go down and ride that, the Cherhola Skyway, Blue Ridge Parkway. So I get down in there and I mean, I've got lost on some back roads down in there just out bugging around that you kind of wonder where you're at.
Yeah, but
You
if
know,
you're
should
on
you be there?
if you're on a motorcycle and you got gas in your tank, you're not really lost. You're just riding.
Yeah.
So next time you come this way, let me know.
Going to be this summer, this spring, actually. We're going to head down. Me and the hot shot. Me and the hot shot are going to get on the bike and take a nice southern trip.
You ain't kidding, garage guy. Yeah. A&A, you know the Dragon? You know, that's on my bucket list, but I can't let the wife know I'm meeting you at the Dragon. We at our state rally, a group of guys decided they're going to ride the Dragon. Well, they woke up and it was raining and they went anyway. And guy he was on a Goldwing and he run off the road and they had to life flight him to Knoxville and then to Nashville.
Jamie, I've done the Dragon in the dry, in the rain, when it's cold. 318 turns and 11 miles. I mean, you know.
I used to be a year-round rider, but not so much anymore.
Well, we got our first big snow here today. How'd the other Ohio gents like that one?
Yeah, I plowed the drive out earlier. Looks like I'm gonna have to do it again. Supposed to get more tomorrow too, aren't we?
Supposed to get it
Yeah.
all week long, dude. All week. At least up this way anyway. I don't know about down your way, but up here it's supposed to be all week long.
Well, that's because you're way up there. We're still kind of like down here a little bit.
You know, we got hit hard last week. Last week it was past my knees. So
Yeah, last week I could still see my grass. Well, until yesterday.
I don't have to do any digging this week, so I'm happy about that.
I was giving poor Scotsman all kinds of grief when he sent me the pictures of it. That was half the fun because I knew I didn't have to shovel none of it.
you know you didn't have to freaking walk in it and have it past your knees.
Hey, you're tall.
It should have been past your ankles, Scotsman.
Hey, it was still going down my boots. Okay, that's annoying. It's annoying when it goes down your boots.
Tomorrow in my location, we have a 78% chance of snow.
Anna Lee Brown, she just don't understand it. I do not like cats.
Yeah, I don't do cats, man. Not a fan.
Yeah, I'm more of a dog guy, but wife has cats. But
I could do a video that would get me kicked off of YouTube like that.
I mean, the only thing cats are good for is Chinese food. Just saying. They only scream once.
that ain't even funny, Scotsman.
Huh?
What?
And then-
Hey, man, I've worked at a Chinese restaurant. I know what goes in that food. Just saying.
It wasn't meant to be funny, Jamie.
Hey, we used to have a Chinese restaurant right next to a vet's office. So,
Free inventory.
Wait,
Yeah.
you had the Chinese restaurant on one side and the Taco Bell or whatever, or the Mexican place on the other side?
Ease
No,
of transfer goes out the back door, right in the other back door.
I'm talking about a vet right here, Chinese restaurant right here. And the public health inspector came in and found in the freezer. And they said, well, we don't serve that to people that come in here. These are for people that are actually from China that order it. And I'm like, I think I'm going to be sick.
Oh, you like a side of kitty fried rice?
I'm like,
Jamie,
yeah.
if we're ever in that situation, people that are cat people and got 200 or 300 cats running around, they got a ready-made food supply. Just bring some sweet and sour and rice, and you'll be eating good.
Well, there you go.
Grow some sprouts. You got stir fry.
Garage Guy, that is about what a new one cost before the pandemic. So, $650 for a ZZ75B now is probably about right. Maybe a little steep. I would like to find it $100 cheaper than that, but
I was gonna say before all the BS, and I put it out there in the side for them. But before all the BS, they were right around 500. You could find them all day long for $5.
used
Yeah,
new ones are around that six to 650 mark, if I remember correct. So the CZ90, did you say 97s, Alan? That's the 45 ACP, right?
yep.
Yeah, and they quit making those, stop production on those.
And 10 millimeter.
Yeah, from the what I've heard through the grapevine, both DB and the B models.
I'm just kind of wondering maybe if they had to shut down a couple lines because of people being sick.
Well, I
It's
don't
just a
know.
thought.
I don't know about that. I mean, we've seen this kind of thing before from CZ, where they either they retool, they do some minor modifications, or they come out with something new. And it's kind of standard for CZ that we've seen this before. You know, if they're coming out with a 97 and 10 millimeter, oh buddy,
CZ Custom does offer a 97 and 10 millimeter.
you know,
Yeah,
if
we've
they're
talked-
going to make that a production run,
Oof. I
So
want
long, so
one.
long as they keep the price low and not custom price, yeah, I could see that. Even
yeah,
for a
because they're
CZ.
basically taking the EAA and running it through the custom shop with that, right? So,
Bye bye.
but yet YouTube allows even names like that.
Yeah, you can't cast, you can't do any casting or powder coating, but you can.
No, how dare you? How dare you?
Yeah.
TrueGunValues.com says that a CZ75B pistol is currently worth an average price of $794.57 new and $630.67 used. The 12-month average price is $703.54 new and $695.67 used. So that would I would say, it's not pre-pandemic anymore, and it's never going to be pre-pandemic anymore. But mine is the 75 BD, and I like it. It shoots really good.
Excellent
And
firearms.
they really are. And mine's just the plain. It's not the Shadow 2 or the TSO or anything like that. It's just a regular old gun. And if I shoot the IDPA thing, that's what I'll be using, or the Springfield XD and 40.
I don't believe anybody on the panel's got a CZ 600, right? Bolt
No.
action.
I don't.
Those have those been released yet? I thought they were the newest thing.
I don't know if they've been released yet or not. I haven't even looked yet.
I only seen a brief article on them, but Armament Axis wants to know who makes or has a 10 millimeter AR barrel. High Point makes one.
There's a bunch of different companies that make them. They're out there.
The high point PCCs are actually good.
I had a
Pistols
40.
suck.
I had a 40 that rocked it. Man, that thing never skipped a beat.
I love my 10 millimeter high point carbine. It's a good shooting gun.
You can bury a bunch of those all over in the ground for that price.
Yeah. Yeah,
All
they
these
shoot
guys
good.
coming to my house. They're going to be loaded up in high points.
Well, I really like 40. I know a lot of people make fun of you for saying that, particularly in this arena, but a little more punch than the 9, and I guess y'all know my favorite handgun round is 357 Magnum, but only because I don't have a 44 Magnum or a 10 millimeter. But as far as semi-autos, I really like 45 ACP's probably my favorite.
Oh, he wants to know who makes them in an AR platform.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them, dude. If you're looking to put one together, I can send you a list of different barrels that are out there. There's a bunch of them.
Yeah, CMMG makes a really good, reliable 10 millimeter carbine. expensive.
Yeah, Big Al, I'm like you. I screwed up and sold my 40, so I just went ahead and built one. I bought a kit, and yeah, I got a 40 again.
That's cool.
Mark, I don't think they do. At least I haven't seen one if they do.
That's not typically what Thompson Center makes. They make a lot of not so common calibers and cartridges, but their stuff is, from what I understand, is just tack driver and stuff. Man, just so accurate.
Well, I mean, I could probably make a couple of recommendations if you knew what length barrel you'd be looking for. On a 10 millimeter, there's Caw Valley that makes them. New Frontier.
Doesn't Bear Creek offer one?
Bear Creek.
I think Bear Creek might.
They offer one. Odin Works makes a couple. There's a bunch of them. It all depends what size you want, whether you want it steel or blue, or there's all kinds of options out there. All depends how much you want to spend too, because you start getting the Odin Works territory and stuff like that, you're starting to talk some money.
It would be a fun build.
That would be fun. They thing about those pistol caliber carbines and pistol calibers and AR platforms, that those receivers are pretty steep to begin with. Particularly if you get a dedicated lower, those can run up there.
Well, the thing with building one like that is you're better off getting one that's a combo set, so everything matches up perfectly, instead of trying to buy one and buy a different one and hope they work together. Buy a match set. Yeah, it's probably going to cost you more money, but it's going to be worth it in the long run.
Yes, it is. I built a 45 ACP AR style pistol before they were available in the market. And I had to search and search and search for the pieces and parts to build it. And the end product, wow, man, that thing took a lot of tuning to get it to run. A lot. Now I see him. Now you can just buy one pre-built.
Yeah.
I couldn't wait.
And that's a big thing too with those. When you start building a 9mm PCC, I mean, you've probably seen it as much as I have, Gene. I mean, you see guys breaking down all day long in matches. I mean, you got to get that stuff tuned. And that's why guys give me shit about running the Ruger, but my gun just works. I mean,
I've got one too, and I love it. I love my Ruger PCC, man. That thing is just hammer. It's crazy.
Well, and a lot of guys, they don't like it because it is heavy. I mean, it's front heavy, but I mean, I'm a big guy. It doesn't bother me, but
well, they do make lightweight lower assemblies for them and handrails. I mean, you can probably take a pound off of the thing if you want to spend money.
They got a couple of different versions of it. They have a couple of different versions. They actually have a lightweight model.
And guys, and that's the thing. Guys will say they say to me, well, you got just as much money wrapped up in that gun now. You could have bought a JP, but I've seen JPs break down too. And I mean, that's, and the trigger in that gun that I built that trigger myself. I took Volkorstin parts and mixed them with tandem cross parts, and the trigger in that gun is insane. And it just runs. I mean, it's 99% reliable all year long in competition, and I'll take that.
I had the opportunity to shoot a JP GMR, and I've been in love with that gun since.
Oh yeah, they're great guns. Don't get me wrong. I mean, they're wonderful.
See, that's the only PCC I've ever shot until the wife got, she got herself that CZ Scorpion.
Yeah.
I'm just in love with that. That's one of those bucket guns I want to get.
Well, that Ruger PCC has a lot of aftermarket support too. you know,
Mhm.
where you can get a lot of different little tweaks and this and this and that for it. And they
Yeah,
are-
the best thing that came out for that was when that company Jawbone Tactical, they made the Tandem Cross has the extended mag release on it where it comes back where you can hit it with your trigger finger, but they only make a chassis for a right-hander. So I took mine and modified it and bought that Jawbone because it comes in right and left-handed. So I've got that extended paddle coming back to where I can get to it with my trigger finger now. That was awesome add-on to that gun this year or last year.
Oh,
I
so
just
you're
It
like-
doesn't matter
left-handed.
what you buy. It doesn't matter what you buy. You're going to drop money in it. Whether you build it or buy it, you're still going to drop a lot of money in it.
Oh yeah.
The minute you start getting into competition and stuff like that, you're dropping some money.
Big boy Legos.
Yeah, and Baldwin Curious, I agree with you, man. He said Rigger PCC is great, but it'll never be competition against AR and 9mm. Yeah, but thing is, I'm pushing on. I'm getting close to 50, and you know, I'm just a B class shooter. I'm not trying to win nationals or become a GM or anything like that. I just enjoy going to the matches and shooting and hanging out with my friends.
And that PCC, you can shoot that 9mm, so it's a whole lot cheaper.
Yeah.
Armament and Axes, I have one of those and one of my ARs. I really like that trigger. I hadn't got a bunch of rounds on it. I don't know how it's going to hold up, but that's a good trigger for right around $100. It's the Rise Armament.
Oh man, I love their triggers. I've got 3 of them now, I think. Yeah, they make a great trigger. And you get a Palmetto State once in a while. They run those sales where you can get them for $99 a piece. I'll buy a couple of them when they run those sales.
And they're typically not on sale. They run about what, 130, 140,
Yep.
and then they'll every once in a while they'll put them on sale for like 80 or $90.
Yep.
I got mine on sale on a Black Friday sale about 2 years ago now at Christmas time, right after Thanksgiving.
Yep. That's when I always scoop mine up. Grab a couple of them. I'm always going to end up building an AR at some point down the road, so I always have a trigger then.
I'm just a huge, I like mil-spec triggers. I do a little polish gig to them, crisp them up really nice. And I just like a nice mil-spec trigger with some light and springs in it,
Yeah.
you know.
I'm just a big fan of a flat face trigger. That's one reason I like them.
Yep. I like
Well,
the flat beers. Yep.
Like my VR80 doesn't have much to offer as far as flat face triggers or anything for them, except like maybe the trigger shoes you put on them. So I just try to keep both of them the same. That way, when I transition during an event, I've got the same pistol grip on them. I've got the same trigger, curved trigger shoe, you know.
So speaking of that, have you put a trigger in your VR80 yet?
No,
Okay.
no,
I've been looking at some, but I absolutely love that gun. I mean, every time I do a video with that gun on my channel, everybody's commenting on that thing. They're just fun to shoot.
I love my VR80.
Oh yeah, 19 round mag dumps with 12 gauge is a lot of fun.
All right, we're gonna start going through the room. We're getting to that time. So, Daniel, what you got, brother?
I got my coffee. I've got great friends. Thanks for having me on. If I make a video this week, I make a video. If not, I'm not. But I just bought, I'm getting my 308 back up and running. And I got myself a Leopold, nice Leopold on it. And we're going to get that sighted in, zeroed in for at 200 yards. So when I get a nice day when the wind's not blowing, I'm going to go out there and sight it in. I might make a video on that. But if not, I'll be watching your guys. You guys need to put something out because it's getting really boring. Not too many people's putting anything out lately. It's like I don't have a TV. I live vicariously through you guys. Put out some material. All right? Thank you.
All right, always good to have you, man. Jamie, what you got?
I'm still working on the shotgun video. It's kind of supplies, but I appreciate spending my Sunday evening with you guys. And thanks for having me. Thanks for the link. Check us out Friday nights at 8 o'clock on Georgia Shooting Connection.
All right, awesome. Thank you, man. Chris, what you got, brother?
Well, first off, thanks for having me on the show, man. This was a great time. I wanted to do this show for a long time, so this was fun. Wednesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, I'll be doing my live channel, live show. Thursday, all my new videos will start coming up on the new gun I just picked up a week ago Friday, and that's about it.
Awesome. Good to have you, man. You're welcome anytime. Appreciate
Thank
you
you.
coming on. Gene, what you got, man?
Oh, first off, great to be back with the crew. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. Been pumping the videos out there. Put 2 more out today. So Daniel, me and Chris are like doing a lot of videos, man. You got to check us out.
You mean I got to resub you?
Yeah, sorry. But I got a nice 300 blackout build I just finished. I got a few more videos coming up, some stuff planned. And thanks to the side chat and everybody out there. Appreciate you very much. And always remember to keep blowing the smoke.
All right, always good to have you, man. Appreciate you coming on. Guys, remember, check the link down below if you can. Please go over and help out with Redneck Renegade. We appreciate that. Go back in the chat. I know Alan's dropped the link. I've dropped the link as well for the AR-10 for Justin's Fowler mission. Please keep Willie in your prayers. It's not over yet. Keep him in your prayers. Hopefully he can pull through. With that being said, I'm going to throw it over to Alan to take us out right.
Well, Scotsman took pretty much most of my outro. So I'm just going to tell you, Daniel, no, you're not going to see any videos out of me. Even though I have videos planned, I never have the time to make them. But I am going to tell you to keep your magazines loaded and one in the chamber. Woo!